Hello and welcome to Crawford Stadium. It is senior night here as the North Penn Knights take on the Abington Galloping Ghosts in the final game of the regular season. So now we will honor the football seniors and cheerleader seniors. So we will throw it to Mr. Manow for the ceremony.
The senior members of the North Penn High School cheerleading team. Our first senior this evening, escorted by her parents, Crescenda Jones and Timothy Bass, Aspen Bass. Escorted by Evelyn and Steve Boyle, Jackie Boyle. Escorted by Karen Cooper, Kaylee Cooper. Escorted by Tina and Ken Hall, Lauren Hall. Escorted by Natalie and Jamie Marks, Hannah Marks. Escorted by Amy and Robert Mazaleski, Melanie Mazaleski. Escorted by Camille and Dennis Miller, Brianna Miller. Escorted by Nakia Pollard, Egypt Pollard. And escorted by Mia and Keenan Washington, Kania Washington. Ladies and gentlemen, your senior cheerleaders. And now, please welcome the senior members of your 2015 North Penn Knights. This group of seniors has, over the last 2 seasons, captured back-to-back conference championships, and tonight will play for their 3rd consecutive outright conference title. First, escorted by his parents, Kelly and Melise Harris, number 2, Tyler Gillette. Escorted by his father, Phil Jeffries, number 3, Chris Jeffries. Escorted by his grandparents, Carla and Michael West, number 4, Nifis West. Escorted by his parents, Denise and Steve Jones, number 5, Spencer Jones. Escorted by his parents, Linda and Mark Bevan, number 12, Jake Bevan. Escorted by his mother, Cheryl Robinson, number 21, Dion Robinson. Escorted by his mother, Rhonda Watson Edwards, stepfather Vincent Edwards, and brother Vincent Edwards, number 25, Dante Watson. Escorted by his mother, Nicole May, and stepdad, TJ May, number 26, Caesar LaBoy. Escorted by his father, Mike Isabella, and Sherry Penna, and mom Judy Alexi. Number 28, Nick Isabella. Escorted by his parents, Maureen Bryson and Mike Ostapovich, and his sister Lauren, number 30, Justin Ostapovich. Escorted by his father, Patrick Spencer, and Terry Andrews, number 31, James Spencer. Escorted by his father, Nelson Stewart, Tawana Rickenbacker, and John and Tony Leidy, step-parents, number 34, Dante Stewart. Escorted by his mother, Sharita Lowry, and Terrence Johnson, number 37, Shaquan Lowry. Escorted by his parents, Pam and Doug Shadle, number 50, Mark Shadle. Escorted by his parents, Kathleen and Michael Gallagher, number 51, Mike Gallagher. Escorted by his parents, Tobias McCullough Sr. and Celeste Mills, number 57, Tobias McCullough. Escorted by his parents, Cheryl and Keith Hilton, number 65, Brandon Hilton. Escorted by his parents, Debbie and Ralph Liberio, and Grandpop Nick Liberio, number 72, Daniel Liberio. Escorted by his parents, Roseanne and Sean Lair, number 76, Danny Lair. Escorted by his parents, Linda and Barry Beeler, number 82, Brett Beeler. Escorted by his parents, Sharon and Mark Patterson, number 83, Joe Patterson. Escorted by his parents, Angela and Keith Earl, number 84, Keith Earl. And escorted by his parents, Tina and Daryl Thompson, number 88, Corey Thompson. Ladies and gentlemen, spanning nearly 80 yards of the Crawford Stadium playing field, once again, a final round of applause for the class of 2016 cheerleaders and football players. Congratulations on an outstanding career and best of luck.
Thank you, Mr. Monero, and congratulations again to all these seniors tonight. We'll be right back for kickoff. Welcome back to Crawford Stadium as we are getting ready for the coin toss here to decide who will receive the ball first between the North Penn Knights and the Abington Galloping Ghosts. This is senior night, so the seniors were honored before the game, both the cheerleading seniors and the football team seniors. This is a big game for North Penn. They are playing for the outright National Conference Championship. They also hope to be hosting a playoff game after all is said and done tonight. They are currently ranked 9th, and they need to get to the 8th seed in order to host a playoff game. They are just on the cusp of having a game here at Crawford Stadium next Friday night. There are a lot of different scenarios that need to happen in order for North Penn to host a home playoff game, but one of them is that they have to win, and Neshaminy needs to beat Pennsbury tonight, and that will pretty much guarantee them a home playoff game next week. But win or lose, they are in the playoffs, so it's been a great season for North Penn. They come in at 7-2 and undefeated in the National Conference. Their opponents, Abington, come in at 1-8 overall and 1-5 in the National Conference. I'm Tyler Pittis, alongside me, Jake Lobrat, calling tonight's game.
North Penn will be receiving the kick to start this game against Abington on senior night.
Three men back to receive this kick for North Penn as we get set to start the final regular season game of the year. And it starts with a squib kick. So North Penn will get great field position starting at their own 45-yard line. Udinsky has been able to lead this offense to a great season as he's in at quarterback now for North Penn. And he hands it off to West, who goes outside and already has a first down for North Penn. West has had a great season as well. Missed a couple games in the middle of the season with an injury, but has been able to bounce back. As Udinsky hands it off again, this time to Isabella, who has another first down for North Penn. And finally brought down at about the 27. So North Penn's running attack off to a great start here. Isabella just able to break to the outside. North Penn lined up in the eye again. Rolls to his right to pass. Udinski looking for anyone open, starting to feel the pressure and has to throw it away. Good coverage there by the Abington secondary. Lined up in the eye again. Udinski hands it off to the fullback, Isabella, who breaks free up the middle of the field and in for the touchdown. A big early score for North Penn, puts them on top 6-0. And Isabella, one of the seniors honored before the game today. Beeler also a senior honored, and he will be attempting the extra point. And it's good. Isabella able to find a hole and just get right up the middle for a quick North Penn score.
It's a great job by the Knights offense to start this game with a 7-point lead with just over 4 minutes passed by on that previous drive.
Isabella with his 10th rushing touchdown of the year. He leads that category for North Penn. And now Beeler will kick it off. And it's a good kick, but it will go out of bounds. So now Abington will get a chance to start at the 40-yard line.
Free kick. Abington will take the ball 1st and 10, 35-yard line.
We'll actually get the ball at the 35-yard line. So Abington offense now out on the field. Kretschmann in at quarterback for the Galloping Ghosts. He'll take the handoff, and he hands it off. Up the middle goes Brooks, who is brought down just beyond the 40-yard line. And that'll bring up 2nd down for Abington. Isabella with the tackle there, already having an outstanding game for North Penn. Alone in the backfield, drops it off to Green, who is pushed out of bounds, very close to a 1st down. We'll see if it's enough. And it is enough for a 1st down for Abington. Kretschmann able to stay in the pocket and pass it off to Green on the sideline.
Green did a great job there of controlling the ball after bobbling it in his hands after the initial catch.
And Abington hands it off again to Brooks. Well, he's brought down at about the line of scrimmage for no gain. And Kretschmann able to pass it out to Pitts there. Feeling the pressure, but brought down for about a gain of 4. That'll bring up 3rd and 7 now for Abington. And there's a flag on the play.
Before the snap, an encroachment foul on the defense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
So that'll bump Abington up. Becomes 3rd and short now. Alone in the backfield, Kretschmann throws it over the middle, wide open. Going out to the outside now, the defender trips all the way to the outside, being chased down and finally brought down. Reed there with the catch over the middle and a great run after the catch. No coverage over the middle. Kretschmann just makes an easy pass, and then Reed does the rest. And Kretschmann keeps it up the middle, and he is stopped shy of the goal line. Kretschmann hands it off, and he's brought down. Again, shy of the goal line. Brooks with the carry for Abington. So that brings up 3rd down and goal now after the big catch. Abington needs to respond to North Penn's score here with a touchdown of their own. Kretschmann, feeling the pressure already, drops it out, and great coverage by North Penn. And that'll hold them to 4th and goal. And a short yardage situation. It should be interesting to see if they try for the field goal or try one more play. It is tough to go down to a team like North Penn, who's able to score a lot of points very quickly with the big arm of Udinski. And it looks like they will be going for it here. Kretschmann lobs it up in the air. And it's caught. A touchdown by Reed in the back of the end zone. Ties up this game. Well, we'll wait to see if they complete the extra point, but looks like Abington will tie up this game. So Reed with the big catch and run brought them to the goal line, and then touchdown catch by him. A big response there by Abington. And it is good. So Abington does tie this game up. So Abington playing North Penn tough early on in this first quarter. 6:51 left to go in the first quarter. And their offense was able to drive right down the field. Kretschmann just lobs the pass over the defender, back of the end zone, and that was perfectly placed by Kretschmann. As Abington will get ready to kick it off now. And again, it's a short kick. Who drops the ball. Dan Drop with the pickup there and able to get on the ball before an Abington player recovers it. So North Penn will keep the ball now. And they'll get a chance to respond and take the lead here on this drive. North Penn again lined up in the I formation, able to get the running attack going. And it looks like Udinski fumbles the snap and he just jumps on it. And it looks like the snap was just dropped by Udinski. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 11. So, as I was saying, North Penn really got the running attack going earlier on the first drive as they hand it off again. Up the middle goes Ostapovic, gets a block, going straight up the middle of the field, and he's brought down at about the 20-yard line. A big run by Ostapovic. Fake handoff, Ostapovic just goes right up the middle, a big hole provided. And then looks like John's able to provide a block before Ostapovic is brought down. Three backs here now. As handoff to Isabella, who tries to go outside. And brought down for a gain of about 7 or 8.
The Knights are doing a great job of attacking on the rush on the ground after sensing after the first drive that Abington had a tough time stopping the running plays. And they went right back to it here on their second drive.
Udinski hands it off to West, who goes up the middle, and he's in for the touchdown. North Penn takes the lead. A huge touchdown there for North Penn. Respond very quickly. Less than a 2-minute drive for North Penn. And they are really flourishing in their running attack early on. Able to really spread the ball around to West, Ostapovic, and Isabella, as they've done all year. Beeler with the extra point, and it is good. So North Penn up 14-7 with 4:55 to go in the first quarter. The handoff here to West. was really just touched once. Excellent blocking there by the offensive line as he walked into the end zone.
This could lead to a big game for Knife East West after coming off a three rushing touchdowns last week. Already has one with 4 minutes and 55 seconds left in just the first quarter. And it could be a good a good rushing game for the Knights in general, after all their big yardage plays have come from rushing plays right now.
So Beeler with the kickoff now. Good kickoff there. Back to the 10-yard line. Tries to run it, goes out to the outside. And he gets some blocks before finally being pushed out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. But there is a flag on the play now after the run was over and the play was called dead. We'll see who it is on.
20-yard return for Jermaine West.
Got a late hit out of bounds on the kicking team. 15-yard penalty, 1st and 10.
So that'll push the run back, or actually up even further. So now Abington will start with great field position. This game could turn out to go very back and forth, with teams starting with some good field position early on.
And that is not a very good penalty to take very early on in this game, giving them great field position.
Richmond hands it off again, and he's brought down for no gain. Brooks with a gain of about 1.
Second down and 9 from the 46.
Kretschmann passing out to Green, who stays on his feet, dodging one tackle before finally being brought down shy of the first down. And that'll be 3rd down now for Abington, and a huge chance for a big North Penn defense stop.
Gain of 7 yards on the play. 3rd down and 2 for Abington from the North Penn 47-yard line.
Kretschmann keeps it himself, but he's just brought down behind the line of scrimmage. And that is a big stop for North Penn.
Also 2 yards on the play. 4th down and 4 for Abington from the North Penn 49-yard line.
And the Abington offense is staying on the field. So it looks like they'll be going for it on 4th and 4. Kretschmann drops back to pass. Already feeling the pressure, and he trips and is brought down for a sack. And that is going to be great field position for the North Penn offensive drive. And they have a chance to really take a huge lead in this game after the sack.
Also 10 yards on the play is a turnaround down. 1st and 10.
Corey Thompson with the sack there, who is a senior and was recognized before the game started, as Abington lost 10 yards on that play, and the Knights now take over with the ball at just about the 39-yard line in Abington territory.
Udinsky drops back to pass. Way down the field to Johns. It's dead on, and it's caught by Johns in the end zone for the touchdown. Johns, a great receiver for North Penn this whole season. Great job at stretching the field. North Penn scores on the first play of that drive, and Beeler has a chance to make it a 2-touchdown game. And it is good. So North Penn now up 21-7. As you can see, Udinsky just bombs it down the field. John's able to get separation and just put that ball dead on. Couldn't have made it easier for Johns. So just a live update on the Neshaminy-Pennsbury game. Again, that's the big game. If North Penn wants to host a playoff game, Neshaminy needs to win that game. And Neshaminy is currently up 6-0 over Pennsbury. Of course, North Penn played Neshaminy last week in a tough defensive battle, but came away with it on the last drive of the game, able to get ahead and win that game. There's Beeler, another good kickoff. Runs up the middle, gets some more good blocking, and he dodges a tackle again, and he's brought down at about the 44-yard line. So a couple good returns in a row for Abington.
First down and 10 for Abington. From the 45-yard line.
30-yard return on that kickoff gives Abington very good field position with the ball at the 45-yard line.
Kretschmann drops back to pass again, feeling the pressure, and he's sacked for the second time in a row. This time by Earl.
The defensive line is doing a great job of attacking the offensive line for Abington, as that is their second sack of the night, both being over 5 yards lost for Abington.
Yeah, the defense kind of struggled on that first drive. Abington able to just march down the field, but they've come up with a couple big stops in a row now, and we'll see if they can do it again. Kretschmann hands it off and dodges a tackle, and he's finally brought down at the 40-yard line. Brooks with the carry. And he's been tough to bring down so far in this game.
Third down and 15 from the 40.
Brooks dodges that one tackle there by Thompson. And he's finally brought down by Earl for only about a gain of 1. Kretschmann drops back to pass, sends it down the field, and it's just out of arm's reach of Webb, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up 4th down and 15 for Abington. And we'll see if they elect to go for it. Looks like they won't after going for it on 2 4th downs in a row. They will punt it away for the first time tonight. And that punt was almost blocked, but there's a flag on the field called by Henley, and that will probably be running into the kicker, and it looks like the punter is now not getting up. That was on Jasinski, who ran into
Personal
the kicker.
foul, roughing the kicker on the receiving team. That's a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
So that will push the Knights back considerably. And that is 2 big penalties in a row on special teams. So North Penn scoring on their first 3 drives. We'll see if they can make it 4 in a row now.
Abington calls time.
And a timeout called by Abington.
Alumni football players from North Penn and Lansdale Catholic will huddle up with old teammates and coaches right here at Parker Stadium for a flag football game on Thanksgiving morning. There will be 75 North Penn football alumni, 59
So North Penn off to a great start here early on. Abington probably called that timeout just to give themselves a break after a couple of huge drives by North Penn. So Abington actually on offense on the field. That running into the kicker penalty actually resulted in a first down for them. So their drive will continue as that pass went incomplete. As Kretzman hands it off to Brooks, who tries to go outside but is pushed out of bounds.
The Knights are doing a good job of controlling Brooks, as he's proving to have a lot of tricks up his sleeves when he's running. And they have not allowed him to really break away and gain a lot of yards after initial contact.
This is 3rd and 10 now for Abington, and this is a big chance for North Penn to come up with a stop.
And that is the end of the first quarter.
And that will bring us to the end of the first quarter. North Penn up 21-7, and North Penn really just dominated that first quarter. North Penn probably would have scored more if it weren't for a couple costly penalties, especially on the current drive, really, of Abington. Running into the kicker allowed Abington to get that first down and continue this drive. Touchdowns so far for North Penn: Isabella, Johns, and West. Those are the 3 of the biggest offensive weapons for North Penn the whole season, and each of them with a touchdown. Really shows how well the offense has been clicking lately for North Penn. As we get ready to start the second quarter, Abington still with the ball. 3rd and 10. As Kretschmann hands off the ball, but there is a flag on the play.
Before the play, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
So that will push them back 5 yards, give North Penn a 3rd and 15 now. As Kretschmann in the pistol, looking to pass. And it is complete to Webb, but he's brought down. And that'll bring up 4th down and long for the Ghosts.
Very good stop by the Knights defense, as that complete pass didn't even make up for the 5-yard penalty that the Ghosts previously took.
And it looks like the offense is staying on the field now for Abington. This is the 3rd time they've been looking to go for it on 4th down, but
timeout, North Penn.
yeah, it looks like North Penn will prevent them from doing so with a timeout. We'll see if they still elect to go or to try after the timeout break.
Tickets are $9 for adults and $6 for kids 10 and under. So head out to the Cavaliers Club on November 15th.
With the score being 21-7 with North Penn leading, seems like Abington has to go for this if they want to try to get back into it before the end of the first half. With it being 4th and 12, it's a very bold move, though.
Yeah, Abington, with their 1-8 record, are, unfortunately for them, out of the playoffs, even if they win tonight. But they are really trying to play spoiler on North Penn. They are really playing them tough, going for it on 4th down and getting a lot of big passes down the field. As Kretschmann looks like he's looking to do so again, feeling the pressure, and it is incomplete. Looks like the secondary got a hand on it.
Keith Earl had a great jump off the line as he kind of frustrated the quarterback for Abington and made him make a pass that he maybe did not want to make so early.
So North Penn will take over now. Reed was the intended target, and you saw him with that big catch on the first drive over the middle that led to the first Abington touchdown, but since then, he's been covered well by North Penn. As now, North Penn's offense will take over and look to score on their 4th straight drive. As Udinsky's looking for a call from the sidelines.
Timeout, North Penn.
And North Penn will be forced to burn their 2nd timeout of the first half. I'm sure they'll be regretting that if it comes down to needing to make a quick drive at the end of this second quarter.
Yeah, it looked like there was a lot of confusion on the sideline and between the coach and Reese Udinsky on what play was being called. And like you said, they're forced to burn their 2nd timeout. And with 11 minutes left in this quarter, they only have 1 to go, which could lead them in a bad direction if they want to make a quick drive at the end of the game.
Udinsky rolls out to his left, fires it out to Earl with a great leaping catch. And that is a big first down for North Penn. Earl, the tight end, another big part of this North Penn offense. And another senior honor tonight before the game. Udinsky lined up in the shotgun, takes the snap, rolls out to his right, gets a block picked up by Ostapovich, stays in the pocket, and passes it out to Hubler. He's pushed out of bounds beyond the first down marker, so that's another big first down on first down for North Penn.
12 yards on the play. Good for North Penn. First down.
Udinsky hands it off to Isabella, who breaks up the middle in between two tacklers and in for the touchdown. North Penn scores on its first 4 possessions of the game. Isabella's second touchdown of the night. Again, a huge hole provided by the offensive line, able to run up the middle between the 2 cornerbacks and in for the touchdown. Now Beeler attempts the extra point, and it is no good. So North Penn up 27-7 now with 10:46 to go in the first half. And they have really dominated in all aspects of the game so far. Beeler with the kickoff. It is a little short. Picked up by Pitts, who runs up the middle and is brought down at the 35-yard line. So again, some decent field position for the Ghosts. They just have not been able to get anything going on offense so far. And that's really because of the North Penn pass rush.
It's a very good play there by the Knights by doing a shallow kick instead of a deep kick, as Abington's kick returner has returned both kicks that he's had for over 20 yards. So very good job doing a shallow kick, and this one was only gained about 5 or 10 yards.
Kretschmann hands it off to Brooks. And he's again stops behind the line of scrimmage. The North Penn line has played phenomenally tonight. He just has only let up big plays in the first drive for Abington. Kretzmann passes it out, and that is good for a first down, caught by Taylor. Actually, Reed there with the catch. He's had a couple big catches early in this game so far that led to the touchdown, and of course, caught the touchdown himself. And that is another first down for Abington, hoping to get some offense going after struggling after that first drive. Kretzmann alone in the backfield, drops it off before getting hit. It is caught. And Webb, the other big receiver for Abington, with the catch. And brought down just shy of the 50-yard line. There is a flag on the play.
Before the play, have an encroachment foul on the defense. 5-yard penalty.
So that'll bring up 2nd and 2 now for the Ghosts. A big break for them. Kretschmann already feeling the pressure. Passes it out, and it's caught, but then fumbled. And North Penn is there to recover. Moon Barnes with the catch for Abington. And it is recovered by North Penn. Thomas with the recovery. And it is tough to see if that really was
catch
caught.
And a fumble. 1st and 10, North Penn.
Looks like he bobbled it before the ball was pushed out. Great awareness by Thomas to pick that up. And Abington is once again stopped before their offense can get anything going.
Thomas is coming off a great game last week after having a couple good tackles and now already a fumble recovery for North Penn.
Udinsky out to Johns, who has enough for a 1st down before being brought down at the 45-yard line. Udinsky and Johns connected for that touchdown earlier in the game.
12 yards on the play. Good for the North Penn 1st down. 1st and 10 for the Knights.
It's a couple plays now that North Penn has able to get a 1st down on 1st down. So able to stretch the field early in the drive. As Udinsky hands it off to West, who cuts up the middle, now to the outside, breaks 1 tackle, stays on his feet, and finally brought down at the 40-yard line. Breaks about 3 tackles there before being brought down. And another big run by West.
Good. North Penn 1st down. 1st and 10 for the Knights.
Like you said there, Tyler, he broke 3 tackles, and after the 2nd tackle, he gained an additional 5 yards while stumbling to the ground and then finally being tackled. So all around a great job for Nifis West and the offensive line with the blocking.
North Penn lined up in the I formation again. Udinsky hands it off to Hubler, who cuts up the field and brought down again for a 1st down. Hubler in motion with the handoff. And North Penn is driving once again.
Hebrew does a great job here of recognizing where the hole is and gaining the 1st down for North Penn before being tackled by Taj Reed.
Udinsky drops back to pass. Out to Isabella, who runs up the sideline, jumps over a tackler, dodges another tackler, and is in for the touchdown. A huge run for Isabella, and it's his 3rd rushing touchdown of the night. And that might be the run of the season for North Penn. That was a receiving touchdown, actually, for Isabella. Bueller with the extra point. And this time it is good. So North Penn leads 34-7. Isabella with the catch. Jumps the 1 tackle and tries to be pushed out of bounds, but stays in there and just runs right into the end zone. A huge run by Isabella and a great catch and great way to get open.
Isabella's having a great game. That's his 3rd touchdown. It's just a great way to recap his senior night here, which could be the last home game, depending on the Pennsbury-Neshaminy game.
And that game still Neshaminy up 6-0. Again, that will not definitely guarantee North Penn a home game, but it will be pretty unlikely for them to not get a home game if Neshaminy does win that game over Pennsbury, as Bueller kicks it off again short and trying to prevent a big run back. And he's finally brought down. Pitts with the return there. So Jake, North Penn's offense has looked phenomenally. And how do you think that they've been able to get that success early on in this game?
Well, they're doing a great job running the ball. They're finding the holes up the middle. And as you can see on a lot of the plays, they're doing like a little fake for a wide run, but then they run it up the middle, and it's really confusing Abington on defense, and it's just really working for North Penn.
As Kretschmann keeps it himself, and he's brought down for no gain. And second down. So only about 1.5 quarters played. North Penn already up 34-7. And just a huge game for the offense. As Kretschmann drops back to pass, feels the pressure, and he's able to get it. And he's brought down close to a first down, able to get it to Reed. And it is enough for a first down. Reed having a great game for Abington.
On that play, Keith Earl had another great jump off the line of scrimmage, and again almost sacked the quarterback for Abington, which has really been the story of the night for Keith Earl and the defensive line for the Knights.
Looks like Kretschmann a little confused at the snap count again for Abington. Looks to the sideline, finally gets the snap off, out to Reed, and it sails way over his head. So that is now 3rd and 10 for Abington. And just the way they've been playing tonight, looks like they will probably elect to go for it on 4th down. They've been doing that all night. And it'll be 2nd down now for Abington. But as I said, they're really playing a 4-down offense. Gives them a little bit more freedom to run the ball. As Kretschmann hands it off to Brooks. And he's brought down for barely a gain. And that'll be 3rd down for the Ghosts.
As you saw there, Brooks is doing a great job of trying to create something for Abington as they find themselves down 34-7 with 5 minutes left in the 2nd quarter. As he's trying to break tackles, but then North Penn is just all over him and has been all over him throughout the whole game.
Earl again with the tackle, having a phenomenal game at the defensive end position for the Knights. As Kretschmann sails it out, and again over the head. Intended for Hurl. And that'll bring up 4th down. See if Abington elects to go for it. Looks like their punting unit is coming on the field for only the 2nd time tonight, despite being stopped on 6 drives for Abington. This is only the 2nd time they've punted.
The Knights have to be careful not to hit the punter this time as they did previously, and they did force Abington to regain possession of the ball. And they do a good job of that.
It's a fair catch. Caught by Henley. And this is probably the best field position that the Abington defense has had on the Knights all night. North Penn within its own 20-yard line. And they'll have a long way to drive. They want to score a touchdown before the half. 4:49 left to go. Udinsky hands it off, and he is brought down over the middle. And that'll be a gain of about 3 for the Knights.
An updated handoff score for Neshaminy and Pennsbury. Neshaminy's now beating Pennsbury 13-7.
Udinsky alone in the backfield. And the play is called dead. And there is a flag on the field. We'll see what the call is.
Have an encroachment foul on the defense. 5-yard penalty.
Three backs now for the Knights. Udinsky hands it off to Isabella, who breaks up the middle and really only needed to dodge that one tackle. He probably would have been gone, but a great tackle by the Abington linebacker. And it was still good for a first down for North Penn, as Isabella is actually kind of limping off the field. That would be a big loss for them.
Yeah, as you just saw in the replay, Isabella was hit around the knees, so could be a knee or ankle injury.
Udinsky keeps it for himself. Passes to Johns. He breaks inside and brought down just shy of the Abington 40, and good for a first down.
20 yards on play. Good for a North Penn first down. First and 10 for the Knights from the Abington 41.
Udinsky hands it off, breaks up the middle, trying to dodge a few tackles. And it is Stewart with the carry there, enough for a first down. And Abington just not able to stop this North Penn running attack, able to get it done with all backs.
18 yards on play. Good for a North Penn.
That was Stewart's first rush of the night, and it was a big one, as he did gain the first down for the Knights and a lot more than he needed.
North Penn stacking the line. Hands it off to West, who goes to the outside, breaks a tackle, but brought down at about the 5-yard line. And it's again enough for a first down. Another big gain by West, who's having a phenomenal night. Gets behind the offensive line as they move upfield, provide the blocks. And West just really an effortless run. North Penn lined up in the eye. Hands it off to West, who cuts upfield. And it's good for another touchdown by West and the Knights. It's West's second of the night, and North Penn takes a 40-7 lead with 2:17 to go in the first half.
One more touchdown.
Bueller with the extra point. And it is good. West looked like he was originally trying to go outside, but saw a hole and just pushed forward, pushed the tackler forward across the goal line for a Knights touchdown.
Like I said earlier, this could be a big night for Knife East West after coming off a 3-touchdown game last week. It looks like he might have a big night, already having 2 just in the first half with 2 minutes left in this half. It'll be interesting how he does in the second half, as he was recognized earlier tonight because it is senior night. It's a very good game for him to end.
Bueller gets ready to kick it off for the 6th time tonight already. And this time it is a little bit deeper, allowing for a run back this time. Goes to the outside. Another big run back before being pushed out of bounds. Webb with the return for Abington.
35-yard return for Abington.
That is the 3rd big return for Abington, and it is proving to be huge as they have the ball at midfield now. And every time North Penn kicks it deep, they get it around midfield, whether it be the 45-yard line, the 40, or the 50. And it's really proving to be good for Abington.
Kretschmann fakes the handoff deep down the field, and again over the head of the receiver, Reed, the intended receiver. Kretschmann has tried to go deep a few times, which really succeeded so far for the Ghosts. Have been really medium length passes over the middle. Reed with the big run after the catch early on, and they've had a little bit of success doing that throughout the game. We get close to 2 minutes to go in the first half, as the handoff looked like it was bobbled a little bit, as North Penn brings down Moon Barnes behind the line of scrimmage for 3rd down now.
3rd down and 13 for Abington from the 47.
Abington lined up in the shotgun, dropping back to pass. Again, looking for Reed, who catches it on the sideline. A great catch by Reed. That ball was placed very well, and it's enough for an Abington 1st down. As the clock continues to run, Kretschmann again lined up in the shotgun. Sails it again down to Reed. And great defense by the North Penn secondary, able to bat the ball out of there. Tyler Gillette with the pass defense. Just gets the arm in there and knocks the ball away. Great play by Gillette. Kretschmann keeps it this time and is brought down for a sack.
Carried by 14, David Kretschmann. North Penn tackled by number 58, Zach Laval.
And that'll be 3rd and 12 now for Abington.
Loss of 2 on the play. 3rd down and 12
Kretschmann. Complete over the middle to Reed. Again, those medium passes have been working for them over the middle. And that is good for another Abington first down, getting their first good drive of the second quarter with less than 30 seconds to go. Kretschmann sails it to the back of the end zone, and it's caught for the touchdown. Another touchdown pass to Reed. Reed basically goes the entire length of the field for Abington. 4 big catches, allows them to close the gap. And they will now attempt the extra point. And it is good. So North Penn now up 41-14 with 20 seconds to go. As Kretschmann passes it out to Reed, back of the end zone. And Gillette not able to get the ball away that time. And a big score there by Abington before the half.
That could be a big momentum booster for Abington, as they will receive the kickoff at the start of the second half.
So North Penn now has 20 seconds to go, just 1 timeout remaining. So you'll have to wonder if they'll just run out the clock here when they receive the ball and get to the second half. And it is a squib kick that rolls out of bounds. So North Penn will now get the ball at the 35-yard line. And again, with just 20 seconds to go.
Free kick out of bounds, untouched by the receiving team. North Penn will take the ball 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line.
So just 20 seconds to go. Have to feel like North Penn may just try to run out the clock and get to the second half. Up 41-14, they've been dominant this first half. As actually, Udinsky is lined up alone in the backfield. They might be trying to score before the half. 4 wideouts, they all go. And it is caught. Good for a first down. Ostapovich with the catch. And North Penn is actually trying to score before the half. 14 seconds left. Just maybe trying to get in field goal position. Really put Abington away. Not even give them a chance as we move into halftime.
The Knights do have to stay towards the sideline, as we mentioned earlier, they only have 1 timeout left.
Udinsky again with a pass, and that goes nowhere to Hubler. Incomplete. Ball went out of bounds. So that wasted some time. 8 seconds left, and it'll be tough for them to score before the half now.
Second down and 10 for the Knights from their own 45.
So 3 wideouts now for North Penn. Man in motion, fakes the handoff. This time hands it off to Ostapovich, who gets a block, is running down the sideline before finally being pushed out of bounds as time expires. So that will bring us to the end of the first half. North Penn up 41-14, and a great offensive showing for North Penn. So please join us for the second half as we come back from break. North Penn up 41-14 on the final regular season game of the year.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
It is halftime here at Crawford Stadium, and we will throw it to the North Penn Marching Knights as they get set to perform their halftime performance.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field the North Penn High School Marching Knights. The band is led by director Mike Butcher, and the assistant director is John Jostin. Show design and staff coordinator is Eric Kitchenman. Percussion is led by Rich Hammond, color guard by Larry Trimble, and visual by Gary Kuzacrea. On the field, the North Penn Marching Knights are led by senior drum major Stephen Pop and junior drum major Jackson Furtado. The 2015 field show is entitled The Calling and features music by French composer Saint-Saëns, which includes Symphony No. 3, the Organ Symphony, and The Swan from Carnival of the Animals. In addition, there is a touch of modern music by the rock group Muse called Madness. The program is based upon a 16-year-old young Joan of Arc and the French Army's famous storming of Orleans. As a young girl, Joan informed the French royalty that she was called to lead the French and free them from the yoke of their English overlords. Her enemies believed she was motivated by evil or madness, and her supporters believed she was called by God to lead France to freedom. The students and staff in the band would like to extend their gratitude to the North Penn School Board and administration for their faithful support of the program. They would also like to extend a special thank you to the North Penn Music Aides for the tremendous volunteer efforts and support. And now, on with the show. Drum Major Stephen Pop, is your band ready? You may now take the field in halftime exhibition performance.
Everything's gone.
1429, Orléans, France. An army of French knights, led by a 16-year-old girl, stormed an English castle. Her name was Joan, and she believed she was called by God. embroiled in the 100 Years' War. The French were on the verge of defeat and needed a miracle. Her enemies questioned her sanity. They called her mad. Joan knew her destiny. She was born for this. On that day, the Maid of Orleans changed the course of history with only a banner and her belief in her calling. Orléans, France, 1429. A 16-year-old girl led an army of French knights with only a banner and her belief in her calling. Joan, the Maid of Orleans, changed the course of history.
So a great job by the North Penn Marching Knights for their performance. The calling. We'll be right back for the second half as the North Penn Knights take on the Abington Ghosts, currently 41-14. Welcome back to Crawford Stadium. North Penn currently up 41-14 over the Abington Galloping Ghosts. And let's take a look at the first half scores. Here's the handoff to Isabella, who just took it all the way up the middle of the field for the touchdown. And, of course, the Abington touchdown in the back of the end zone to Reed. And North Penn responded in a big way with a deep bomb to Johns, who was wide open and caught for the touchdown. And Udinski, another handoff to Isabella, who again fed the needle through the tacklers for the touchdown. And then Udinski, the short pass to Isabella, who jumped the tackler and was not pushed out of bounds and made it into the end zone. And then this run by West, cut through the hole provided by the offensive line. And then right before the half, pass again to the back of the end zone, connects with Reed. So Kretschmann with a decent game so far for Abington. Just haven't really been able to get any drives going. They've had a couple big passes. North Penn's offense has been dominant throughout the whole game. Already 4 rushing touchdowns, 2 for Isabella and 2 for West. And then 2 receiving touchdowns, Isabella and Johns each with 1. And George Reed with the 2 touchdowns for Abington. He's had a phenomenal game for Abington. He's really caught most of the passes from Kretschmann. A couple big passes over the middle that led to the 2 big touchdowns. And on defense, Keith Earl and Corey Thompson have been getting to the quarterback a lot. A couple big sacks and have been applying the pressure all throughout the game. And that has put Abington's offense in a compromised position throughout the game. So we'll see if North Penn can continue its dominance throughout the second half as their kicking unit comes onto the field. They've been kicking off a little short throughout the night because Abington has had a couple big runbacks. So they've just elected to get a couple squib kicks and prevent big runbacks from Abington. Get good field position. This time they kick it deep as Green tries to go to the outside before pushed out of bounds. And that will again be great field position for Abington, as they will start at about the 41-yard line. But even with the great field position, their offense has not been clicking so far in this game. Kretschmann in the shotgun. Looks to the sideline for the call. Looking for a pass, feeling the pressure. And it is incomplete to Hurl.
Pass is incomplete. Intended for number 15, Jake Corral.
Again on that offensive play for Abington. North Penn's defensive line really applied the pressure on the quarterback for Abington, which forced him to make a quick throw, and that then led to the incomplete pass, which has really reoccurred throughout the whole night, throughout the whole first half.
As Kretschmann hands it off, brought down for about no gain. Actually, looks like forward progress gave him about a yard or two.
Gain of 1 yard to play. Third down and 9 for the Ghosts.
That'll bring up third down now for the Ghosts. And they have been going for it on fourth down throughout the night. So if they don't make it here, we'll see what they elect to do as Kretschmann drops back to pass and is immediately swarmed. And another big sack for North Penn. Isabella and Thompson both got to the quarterback that time. Just plow right through the offensive line. And really, Isabella did most of the work, bringing down Kretschmann. And the Ghosts do elect to punt now.
Number 81, Lee Markman, enters to punt for the Ghosts.
And that punt is almost blocked as North Penn. Henley waves for the fair catch. And North Penn's offense will take over at about the 30-yard line.
From the 32-yard line.
North Penn lined up with split backs. Drops back to pass. Looking for Earl, who's wide open. And he's brought down. Good for a North Penn first down. Earl with a great game, both on defense and offense so far. He's had a couple big catches over the middle.
Gain of 22 yards in the play. Good for a North Penn first down.
North Penn lined up in the I formation. Hands it off to West, who finds a hole, gets up the middle, cuts up field. And he's finally brought down in the Abington red zone at about the 15-yard line. West with another big run. He is having a great game for North Penn.
Gain of 31 yards in the play. Good for a North Penn first down.
Very good run here by West. As you see, he finds the hole and breaks the tackle, and then is tackled for a 31-yard gain.
Split backs again for North Penn. Udinsky hands it off. This time to Isabella.
Isabella with the carry for the Knights.
Gains about 5 on the carry.
Gain of 3 yards on the play. 2nd down and 7 for the Knights from the Abington 12.
Now 3 backs in the backfield. Hands it off up the middle. And there's a flag on the play. And that is close to a 1st down run. Isabella with the carry again for North Penn. And it looks like it might be on North Penn.
Against the Knights.
So that is holding against the Knights. And that'll back them up 10
down
yards.
17 for the Knights from the 22.
As North Penn lined up in the shotgun now, push them out of red zone. And the screen pass to Ostapovich. Gets a good block laid. And he's brought down beyond the 5-yard line.
Justin Ostapovich. Abington tackle by number 10, Kyle Pitts.
He really just needed one more block, it looks like. As you see, Vinsky with the screen pass to Ostapovich.
Good for a North Penn first
Number
down.
2, Red of
First
Abington,
for the Knights from the 4.
cause Ostapovich to move into a tackling zone as Udinsky hands it off. And it is in for the touchdown. Isabella with the carry. And that is his 4th touchdown of the night. North Penn now up 47-14. And Isabella, a dominant performance. And North Penn looking to continue to pile on the points. Looks like they'll be trying to go for 2 here. As Udinsky hands it off to West, and he just walks it in. So that is another 2 points for North Penn, and they get up 49-14. This is the touchdown. Isabella, very close to the goal line, but able to get in. And that is his 4th of the night.
For 78 yards in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And with 7:44 to play in the 3rd quarter, North Penn leads 49-14.
Okay, we're on the shooting sports. We're on the Mercy now.
And North Penn.
On that clock, Harold. I will. Thank you.
North Penn will now kick it off.
I've been waiting for that all year.
And North Penn now in the mercy rule range, so the clock will continue to run.
Number 4, Dion Green, and number 13, Jermaine Webb. Back deep for the Ghosts, Brett Beeler to kick off for the Knights.
As Beeler, another deep kick. Breaks up the middle, tries to dodge a tackle, and is brought down at just shy of the 45-yard line.
20-yard kick return. 1st down and 10 for Abington.
So just a update on the Neshaminy-Pennsbury game that has huge playoff implications for North Penn. It is currently halftime. Neshaminy still leads 13-7. And that is good for the Knights. Again, it's not the only a requirement for North Penn to get a home playoff game, but it certainly helps if Neshaminy wins. And with that, it will be more than likely that North Penn would get a home playoff game. And Pennsbury is favored in that game, but Neshaminy trying to pull off an upset there. As Kretschmann drops back to pass, out to Reed, and it goes way over his head. Looks like Kretschmann was hit as he tried to make that throw. North Penn continues to pressure him.
Like you said there, Tyler, the Knights' defensive line has been really well played throughout this game. And Kretschmann has really taken a beating, as on almost every play the Knights have gotten to him.
Kretschmann again deep down to Reed, and it again sails way over his head. That'll bring up 3rd down, as even with an incomplete pass, as we stated earlier, it is now in the mercy rule, so the clock will continue to run.
3rd down and 10 for the Ghosts from the 45.
As that is now 3rd down and 10 for Abington. As North Penn's defense has just been phenomenal tonight. Kretschmann to pass, and Thompson gets there for the sack. That is 4th down. Thompson again gets to Kretschmann.
Loss of 5 on the play. 4th down and 15.
Thompson just gets around the edge so easily. He always wins that matchup. And now Abington will be forced to punt again. Thompson blocks the kick, and it is recovered by North Penn at about the 25-yard line. Thompson continues his phenomenal game. Oh, wide right, the snap. Thompson just, again, beats that matchup. And he is able to block the punt in time. And North Penn starts with great field position.
Corey Thompson has proven to be a key factor in today's game, whether it be on special teams with the block punt right there, or on defense, as he has had multiple sacks today, and has applied a lot of pressure on Kretschmann.
Penna now in at quarterback for North Penn. Kept it himself and rolled out to his right. Excuse me, that was Jones with the carry.
Gain of 7 yards on the play. 2nd down and 3 for the Knights from the 20.
But Jones is in at quarterback now for the Knights. Udinski not wanting to be threatened with the injury. As the handoff to West, tries to fight up the middle, and he does get a 1st down. So as I was saying, Coach Beck probably does not want any injury threat to Udinski right before playoff time. And with this game pretty much in the bag, he has elected to put in Jones at quarterback. The handoff to West. Swarmed by the defense, but really fought through a couple tackles. And North Penn has not been forced to punt this entire game. They have just been outstanding on offense and defense the entire night. As Jones lines up in the I formation, hands it off again, and he cuts up field. And that's enough for a Knights touchdown. Dion Robinson with the carry for the Knights, his first of the night. And it is a touchdown. North Penn now up 55-14. Robinson, a senior, honored before the game for senior night. And now Kelly McNamara in to kick the extra point. Probably the same reasoning as taking Udinsky out, wanting to prevent injury risk to Beeler right before playoffs. And it is good. And off to Robinson. Dodges a lot of tackles before finally being brought down. But after crossing the goal line, North Penn now with a 42-point lead, 56-14 over Abington. So McNamara now kicking off for the Knights.
Kelly McNamara to kick off for the Knights.
And it is a short kick. And Bross of Abington has to dive on it. Excuse me, that was Reed.
Field by number 4, Dion Green. First down and
So
10
the
for
Ghosts will now take over
from their own
at
35.
the 35-yard line. As Kretschmann drops back to pass. Deep down to Reed, who dives for it, but unable to pull it in.
Pass is incomplete.
And that'll bring up 2nd and 10 now for the Ghosts.
Number 3, Chris Jeffrey.
As Abington takes the field for this second down opportunity, there is 1:33 left in this quarter, and the clock will continue to run as it has reached mercy rule.
Abington carry by number 27.
Moon Barnes with the
Barnes.
carry
Gain of
for
3
Abington there.
Third
Gain of just about
and
2,
7.
brings up 3rd and 7. As that carry went just about nowhere for Abington. Have a big crowd out here at Crawford Stadium tonight to cheer on the Knights in their final regular season game. As Kretschmann sails it over the middle to Webb. He was finally brought down at about the 40-yard line.
Pass complete to number 13.
So with this win tonight, North Penn would get into the playoffs. Just a matter of whether that would be a home playoff game or not. And there's a lot of scenarios that would allow them to get that home playoff game. And the big one is if Neshaminy beats Pennsbury, North Penn is very likely to get a home playoff game. Kretschmann rolling right, swarmed and gets the ball off, but incomplete.
Pass is incomplete.
And that Neshaminy-Pennsbury game is still 13-7, Neshaminy up. So exactly what North Penn wants right now. As you can see, Kretschmann swarmed by 5 North Penn defenders, just has to get it off to Reed. But it is covered well. And that'll bring us to the end of the third quarter. North Penn up 56-14 here at senior night.
Fans, once again, don't forget, get your car wash tomorrow from 10 to 2, right across the street
So,
at McDonald's. Plan for a chicken parmesan dinner on Sunday night,
North Penn.
at the Cannoneers Club. And get your tickets now for the
North Penn's defense
Hometown
has had an outstanding game tonight, holding Abington to just 14 points and pressuring the quarterback on almost every play. A lot of sacks by the whole defensive line, but especially Earl and Thompson. As Abington now faces 2nd and 10. Kretschmann drops back to pass. Plenty of time this time, and lobs it downfield. And it goes through the hands of Reed, not able to bring it in.
Pass is incomplete. Coverage of the play by number 26, Caesar LeBoy.
Actually, Hurl was the intended target at that time.
3rd down and 10 for the Ghosts.
As the clock continues to run, that'll be 3rd down and 10 now for Abington. Kretschmann again feeling pressure, able to get it off that time. Reed with the catch, and finally brought down shy of the 30-yard line. And looks like that'll be very close to a 1st down. And that will give them a 1st down.
1st down and 10 for Abington.
Kretschmann feeling the pressure.
Tackle on the play by number
Reed
16,
able to
Parrish Foster.
catch it in motion over the middle before he is swarmed by the North Penn defense. Kretschmann lobs it deep down to Reed, and it is caught, and a touchdown. So Reed, his 3rd of the night. He has been fantastic for this Abington offense.
To number 19, George Reed.
I have to stop at this time.
And Abington will now attempt the extra point. And it is good.
The extra point is good. Abington goes
So Abington
7 plays,
tightens the lead.
6 seconds, 65
See right
yards.
before this extra point, Kretschmann just lobs it down the field. Good coverage by LeBoy, but Reed able to bring it in for his 3rd touchdown of the game. Abington will get ready to kick it off with 10:22 to go.
Number 37, Shaquan Lowry, and number 21, Deion Robinson, back deep for the Knights.
A short kick, And North Penn will just fall on it and take over at the 40-yard line. West with the recovery there. Actually, that looks like Andrews, the other number 4 on the team for the Knights.
First and 10 for North Penn from their own 40-yard line.
North Penn lined up in the eye, hands it off up the middle. Fights for a couple extra yards before finally being brought down after a gain of about 9.
North Penn carried by number 4, Anthony Andrews.
And as I said before, Andrews now in at running back to replace West, who had an outstanding game for North Penn, 2 rushing touchdowns. And North Penn now resting most of its starters. Everyone had an outstanding game, really, on offense. The offensive line provided great protection for Udinsky. And, of course, the running game was fantastic. Isabella with 4 touchdowns as Andrew gets the other handoff. Out to the outside. Actually, that's Jeffries with the carry. And a big run to the outside for a North Penn first down. Jeffries able to go outside the entire defense, beat them with his speed. And he finally steps out of bounds. North Penn once again lined up in the eye. Hands it off to Andrews.
North Penn carried by number 4, Anthony Andrews.
Who just goes up the middle. Gain of about 4 for the Knights. That'll bring up second down. And another update for the Neshaminy-Pennsbury game. Neshaminy kicks a field goal. And so they extend their lead 16-7 over Pennsbury. And that is big for North Penn. Chris Jeffries again with the carry. Out to the outside. Finally brought down. And that is enough for a first down.
Chris Jeffries. Tackled by number 32, Ty Williams.
Jeffries again able to beat the defense with his speed. Good block by Hoffman there. Allows Jeffries to gain a few extra yards.
First and 10 for the Knights from the 17.
Jones keeps it himself, runs out, and it is wide open to just run right into the end zone. North Penn keeps piling on the points, now 62-21. North Penn has tripled Abington's score of 21 points, and they just continue to score. And it looks like there is a flag on North Penn after the score, so that will be assessed on the kickoff.
Kelly McNamara enters for the point after.
McNamara attempting the kickoff now. Excuse me, the extra point. And it is good. McNamara now 2 for 2 on the night. And North Penn now up 63-21. Again, triple Abington score. McNamara will attempt the kickoff as well. And that penalty on Abington will allow North Penn to kick it from Abington's 45-yard line. So North Penn's defense will get great field position. And that'll roll through the back of the end zone for a touchback. So some other scores around the National Conference of the Suburban 1 League. Penridge up 51-20 over Ben Salem. And CB South up 33-7 over North Penn rival Satterton. Reed now in at quarterback for Abington as he hands it off to Moon Barnes, who is brought down behind the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 2nd down and 11 with 5:42 left to go in the game. North Penn up 63-21, and they pretty much have this game in the bag. So again, Reed in at quarterback for Abington.
Number 23, Connor Reed, enters at quarterback for Abington.
And Abington will take a timeout.
Timeout, Abington.
And that is the first timeout used by either team in this second half. 5:09 left to go. So with this victory, North Penn will improve to 7-0 in the conference. And 8-2 overall. Abington will drop to 1-6 in the conference and 1-9 overall. And if with this win, North Penn will take the National Conference Championship for the first time in a number of years. With that victory a couple weeks ago over Pennsbury, that allowed them to get to this point. As Kretschmann throws it to Moon Barnes, who is brought down after a gain of about 7. So that'll bring up 3rd down and about 4 to go.
Gain of 8 yards on the play, 3rd down and 3 for the Ghosts.
Reed hands it off to Moon Barnes, who fights up the middle, and it is good for a Abington first down.
27, Kinnear Moon Barnes for the carry for Abington. Gain of 6 yards on the play. 1st and 10 for the Ghosts from the 33.
Big hole provided by the offensive line before being swarmed by North Penn's defense and brought down beyond the 1st down marker. Reed keeps it himself, rolls out to his left, and it's off the hands of the intended receiver. And that'll fall incomplete, bring up 2nd down for Abington.
2nd down and 10 for Abington from the 33.
Reed lined up in the shotgun, fakes the handoff, passes it deep down the field, and that pass is broken up, and it falls incomplete. Looked like that ball was almost intercepted by North Penn.
Covers in the play by number 26, Caesar LeBoy.
And that is now 3rd down and 10 for Abington.
3rd down and 10 for Abington from the 33.
Tries to go deep, and the coverage is just too good by LeBoy, and it'll go incomplete. The North Penn secondary has been playing very good all day. Just a couple big passes complete to Reed. As another handoff to Moon Barnes. Good for about 5.
Carry by Kinnear Moon Barnes. North Penn tackle by number 73, Zach Smeltzer. Gain of 6 yards on the play, 4th down and 4 for Abington from the 39.
So it looks like they'll be going for it on 4th down with 1:40 to go. And flag is called. It will most likely be offsides on North Penn. And it is.
Penalty is offsides against the Knights. 5-yard penalty results in a 1st and 10 for Abington.
And that will give Abington a 1st down, but the clock will continue to move. As Reed keeps it, throws it down the field, and good coverage there by North Penn. It is, again, LeBoy with the coverage. He's had 2 good plays in a row for North Penn.
And again, off that
2nd down and 10 for the Ghosts.
draw for Abington, Owen Varespi applied a lot of pressure and did get a hit on the quarterback, which could have rushed the pass. But the defensive line for North Penn has done an extremely good job tonight throughout the whole game.
30 seconds left to go in this blowout of the Ghosts. North Penn with a phenomenal game overall. They really got the rushing attack going, which has been leading to their success all season, and is only fitting as that's how they win their final game of the regular season. North Penn takes it 63-21 over the Abington Ghosts.
And the North Penn Knights are the 2015 Suburban 1 National Conference Champions.
The North Penn will be in the playoffs now.
On your way home this evening, fans, don't forget to tune in to 1440.
With this win, and a couple things need to happen throughout the rest of the National Conference for North Penn to get a home playoff game. Here are some highlights of the night. Isabella's first touchdown run, and Kretschmann's pass to Reed in the back of the end zone. And then, of course, Udinski's deep pass to Johns that has really found him all year long. And then this second run by Isabella, right up the middle, in the middle of the field. And then Udinski's pass to Isabella where he jumps the tackler and prevents being pushed out of bounds and just runs right into the end zone. And here is Wes. Looks like he's running outside, but cuts up the middle, and he is in the end zone. And then Kretschmann's pass right before the half, again to the back of the end zone to Reed, who had the only receiving touchdowns of the night for Abington. Udinski's handoff to Isabella for his 4th touchdown of the day. Just a phenomenal game, really, these last 2 weeks. And then the handoff to Robinson, who dodged a few tackles. Led to the touchdown. And then Kretschmann, on the final score of the game, completes to Reed. And Jones rolls out to his right and uses his legs to get into the end zone for the final score for North Penn. As you can see now, Coach Beck congratulating his team on being National Conference champions, and hope they can continue that success into the playoffs. So we really hope to see you next week if North Penn hosts a home playoff game. That's all for this game. I'm Tyler Pittis, alongside me, Jake Lobrack. For all the North Penn TV crew, go Knights.